know, there are no other people's children. It doesn't matter what color their eyes and hair are, what nationality they are, or what they look like. It is more important that you already love him at first sight. This family could definitely become characters in a book or a movie. It's hard to believe that this could actually happen. Vladimir and Olga began living together when they were already married. They both had children. However, there is no point in telling what happened before their relationship. They had everything in their life together except children. Their age did not allow them to have a child together, though the couple dreamed of it. They did not live in great luxury. However, both felt that their love was pouring out over the edge. Vladimir was ready to work tirelessly to provide for the family, and Olga was ready to keep the peace and comfort. It was decided to adopt a child who had been left without a family. All the documents had been collected and all that was left was to wait. Vladimir and Olga understood the responsibility that they were taking upon themselves, but they were sure that they would overcome any difficulties together. They waited for an answer for about half a year. And finally, the cherished phone call. On the other end of the line, they were told that a healthy baby girl had been born 2 days before, but her mother gave up on her. They could meet the little girl in the neighboring city where she was born. Immediately the couple went to the maternity hospital. The baby had not yet been discharged. Olga was given the necessary documents. Yes, the child is completely healthy. The woman knew in advance that she would be ready to cope with any diagnosis. Fortunately, there was nothing to cope with. Olga asked the doctors why the mother refused to give up her newborn daughter. They explained to her that the woman had come to the city to earn money. She was an Uzbek herself. She has 3 children waiting for her in her homeland. Her circumstances do not allow her to leave her daughter. Her own mother wrote a letter of resignation with pain in her heart. The doctor told Zucker's story with undisguised sadness, and then made sure once again whether Olga would come for her child. Olga confirmed she was a mother now. The conversation with the doctor was over. It was time to go home. Olga slowly wandered along the half-empty corridors. Now the thought that her own mother loved her baby and did not want to leave her was weighing on her. At first sight she felt warm feelings for the little girl, but her heart somehow felt heavy. Before leaving, Olga decided to look at the future daughter again. In the room peacefully sniffling little children, tightly wrapped in diapers. It was so quiet, only a quiet, beautiful melody broke the silence. It seemed to be sung by one of the women in labor. Olga tried to listen to the words, but she could not understand them, as they were sung in a foreign language. Olga cautiously peered into the room. She noticed that a woman was holding her baby girl in her arms. The baby was hanging on her mother's breast, soundly swallowing milk. Olga could not calmly look at what was happening, her heart clenched in pain. She realized that it was impossible to replace her own mother with her baby. The woman looked at Olga. The stranger's eyes were full of tears. Then they reminded her of 2 lakes, just as deep. The mother finished feeding the girl and approached Olga. Zura asked her not to tell her daughter anything, so that she would not look for her when she grew up. The pain of loss should subside over the years. The baby was not born by chance. For her birth, however, Zura made many mistakes. "Forgive me and understand," the woman sighed. With a sad smile, the mother asked what name her daughter would be given by her new parents. Olga still couldn't come to her senses and whispered quietly that the baby girl would be called Masha. The mother smiled. She thought the name was beautiful, but in the end she suggested that the girl be called Eva. The next day Zucker was gone. Olga spent a day by the girl's side, who had been crying and refusing to eat for a long time. Only toward evening did the tired little girl drink milk from a bottle. They stayed in the hospital for another 10 days and then went home. Vladimir reverently held his daughter in his arms and affectionately called her little. Olga cautiously asked if her husband liked the name Eva. Eva means life, Zucker's words came to mind. The newly minted father looked lovingly at the baby and agreed. Eva is indeed a fitting name. That night little Eva fell asleep in her crib. She smiled in her sleep, and most likely still heard her mother's sweet song in her native tongue. Perhaps the song told of distant lands, and the 2 blue-eyed lakes that the girl had last seen in the hospital.